guys, well welcome back to Allotment Diggers. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. I'm full of allergy. I constantly have chest infections. It does wear anyone else, it'd probably wear them into the grave, but me, I'm a fighter, and like I say, I'm full of allergy. My nose is all blocked up, so I hope you can understand what I'm actually saying. You're wondering where Buttercup is. She's laying the middle greenhouse, just fast asleep, and that's where she can stay for now. It's the 27th of August 2023 for you time travellers. I've been on the car boots. Well, we went to get the car boots today. They're all closed. All the antiques fairs are closed. It's been a real miserable day for me. I've not been able to spend any pennies on coins. However, I've got a load of coins coming in the post. But no coins this week. It's just pure gardening, or pure grafting anyway. So we've got 4 clips to show you. I'm going to take you on a walk around the plot. It'll be the last plot of the month, so we'll show you what's happening there. We've got some great stuff going on. We've actually been tidying the plot up this week. Paths, one of the paths, that was hard work, and we've been harvesting some calendula, and we've been taking the calendula out of the bed at the side. I'm going to show you me doing that. That'll be the first clip I show you I've been doing. And we've actually been repairing the strimmers. One of the strimmers was broken. You can see me what I had to do to get that working. Bit of a Frankenstein job on it, but it does work anyway. So the first thing first was the bed, just where the benches are at the side of me. I had a load of calendula in. Anyway, we decided to lift all the calendula, but before we did that, we had a couple of days when it was dry, and I collected a load of seeds, so I'll show you me doing that first. Then we'll go into clearing the bed. I've got to tell you, it was hard work. We speeded it up. It took a few hours, but with the tools to my hand with the editing, I can speed everything up and add some music to it, so I'll show you me doing that. So let's show you this first clip and then we'll come right back. Well guys, today the calendula is sufficiently dry enough to actually collect the seeds, and what I'm doing, I'm sprinkling them into here. I'm going to fill this up, obviously. That's all you do. Each one of them is a seed, potential plant, and once we've got enough, what we're going to do, we're going to pull all these up. Oh, that one's not. You want the darker coloured tops. Like I said, he just disintegrate as you lift them up. It's not taking long to do this, is it? Some of the seeds are going to fall into the bed, but that's not a problem because it'll come next year. But anyway, yeah, this is what we're doing. Like that, just like that. Yeah, they're sufficiently dried out now. All that rain that we've had, I've been waiting for them to dry out so I could actually do this. I'm not too worried about the seeds dropping into the bed, because when we tidy the bed up, I'll be basically digging all this lot in. So we've collected that much so far, so I'm going to continue, and then we'll come back and we'll start to take all this out of the beds. Well guys, we've got all the calendula that we need. There's enough there to completely cover me allotment in calendula, but yeah, all this lot now is going to be coming out. So this is what you see it looks like at the moment. I know this flower's still flowering on it, but at the end of the day, I need to push on with cleaning this bed, getting it nice and clear. And well, really I might put a few flowers into it, I don't know. But we're going to take these out anyway for now, tidy the bed up, get it all nice and weed free, because later on in the year you're going to get the tulips and daffodils coming up, and it's easy to work when the bed's just got a few weeds in, rather than it's got what you see there. Now what you're looking at there basically are weeds. A flower is a weed, it's just a nice weed, what people like. But yeah, we've got all the calendula, like I say, we've got a pile of it there. We've got enough to spread into this bed next year, but it's going to be self-seeded anyway when we're pulling it out. And when I rake it and level it, all that seed will get put into the ground, and you're going to start seeing calendula start to poke up. And it'll be doing that right up until Christmas, and I'll be taking it out, but after Christmas I'll leave it alone, and up it'll come and it'll look glorious like it did early in the year. But yeah, this is a before shot, so I'll show you what it looks like when we're done, and maybe I'll speed it up in between, so you know. But what I will do now is go and get my carrier bag, and we'll start ripping this out. It's quite sad really, but it's got to be done. Well guys, today we're going to be clearing this bed out here, so I'm going to show you, this is what it looks like at the moment. Now I know I'm not going to have enough battery power left in this camera, so we'll do a before and a after shot. So this is what it looks like at the moment. I'm going to try to leave the camera rolling. We'll speed it up, we're showing you be doing it, but like I say, probably just be showing you what it looks like now. Well, as you can see, it's a bit difficult, but I'm going to get the bag now into the bed, so you might not be able to see me pulling it up. You might see me dragging the bag down here. We're going to do this side first. We'll go around and come back this way, so that's what we're doing. Right. Well, there you go, guys. One bed cleared. And the beauty of that is when the weeds start, little tiny weeds start to come up, we'll be able to pick them out. Because we've got all the calendula. We've got all the seeds for next year. There's a load of seeds sold into the bed, so I don't even think I need the seeds for next year, but we've got them anyway. And would you believe it, we've just finished it and it's starting to rain. Now I think that is what you call very lucky. Buttercup, by the way, she stayed in the greenhouse out the way while we did it. Right, I'm going to put the bag to one side. We'll be up to Cobden Street tip with this shortly. But yeah, that's a job I wanted to get done. It's one of them jobs which needs to be done. We'll go into that bed next. We've already done it, but there's a few weeds coming up, so we'll get the weeds. And we'll keep taking the weeds up until about October. And then that'll be it for the weeds, and then you get all the spring bulbs coming up, and they should take care of the weeds because you won't nothing be able to come through them. But yeah, it's raining, so I'm going to get out of here. Like I say, this is what we wanted to do today, and it's done. So the bed, we did that midweek, and would you believe there's a few weeds actually come through already, and I'll be in there with my hoe and I'll be taking the tops off them all, and we'll be doing that for the next 4 or 5 weeks. There's a load of tulips and daffodils in that bed, and there's an absolute pile of self-seeded calendula in there for next year. However, we've got that box of calendula I'll be sprinkling a lot of that in as well, so it'll look glorious again next year. But at the moment the bed's nice and tidy. We did clean the other one as well. We did give it a bit of a hoeing, tidied that up. But all the weeds is just behind me now. We're going to be going to Cobden Street tip shortly and getting rid of all that. The next job, would you believe it, the actual rain come to my rescue. Now the path either side is gravel, and in the gravel you got lots of weeds growing in the gravel, and they're a nightmare to get out. If it's bone dry, you can't get them. You can only get the tops, and then the weeds come back. Obviously the roots are still there. So what you got to hope for is a really good thunderstorm and a downpour, and that's what we had the other day. A few days ago, actually. It wasn't the other day, it was a few days ago. And so we managed to get on his hands and knees, hands and knees, right down at the path, and we've got all the weeds out. So I'm going to show you before. I'll show you one of the two of the weeds what are in the path, and I'll show you what it looked like after we've done it. Well, inside my path here is a load of weeds that are growing. See how it's going green down there? So I've got my bucket and my kneeling pad, and we're going to have at it. Now I'm not going to set the camera up and show you me doing it, but you clearly see we've got weeds. I'm not going to do it all at once, but what I will do is probably up to the first greenhouse. I'm sure I'm going to have Buttercup to help me do it. Just hope it doesn't start raining as I get stuck in. So that's what I'm doing this morning, getting some of this stuff. It just, because it rained the other night, all I basically have to do is that and throw it into there. So I've got my kneeling pad, scissors for the tougher ones, but this stuff, it just lifts out if you do it right. So you get all the soil with it. It can be a pain. So you get the weeds. Now it rained last night and it rained early this morning, so these weeds are quite easy to get out. So this is what we're doing. The only trouble, I've got all the way down there to go. Anyway, we'll have at it. We'll get most of what we can today and we'll get the rest tomorrow. But yep, it's hands and knees job. Oh, how wonderful. Well guys, as you can see, we're going right down the path here, and we're at these lichens at the moment, and I've got to tell you, it's hard work. But we're getting all the lichens out. They come out quite easy. You just use the scissors there just to lift the stones, and then they just lift out with the roots and all. But yeah, me and Buttercup been doing this for over an hour and a half. Probably finish this off tomorrow. Like I said, I filled a bucket of weeds there. I would normally throw them into the chickens, but lichens are a bit dodgy, so I'm not going to give them. But yeah, we've only got about another 12 foot to do. I might stick it out, but I'm looking at the rain up here. There were clouds, rain clouds, and it's not looking good. But yeah, me and Buttercup, we've been at this for over about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we got every weed out of the path, and it's been like this pretty much. The thing is, you leave it for about 4 or 5 weeks, because I've been doing other things, and it grows so quickly, and it just only has to get a little bit of soil, and weeds, like a seed settles on it, and that's it, and up it comes. But there's some good weeds in there, like plantain. There's a lot of bindweed, and there's a lot of daisies, pansies, not pansies, daisy. What do you call them? Nettles. There's buttercups. These what are the other things? Dandelions. And there's a few other weeds, but I think the best weed is the plantain, and yeah, that's a pretty good weed to have, but it's not going to stay in my paths. But this is all we've got to do. Like I say, we've been at it on the old needling mat there, clearing it all out all the way along. Like I say, Buttercup stuck with me right through until we got to here. Right, anyway, like I said, we'll be back, and I'll give you a report when it's all done. Well guys, this path was a disgrace. It had weeds everywhere, and when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. As it got past this greenhouse here, it was all lichens. The floor was just green with lichens, as you probably saw in the clip. But yeah, we've cleared them all up. It's all tidy now. There's no weeds all the way along. Maybe a tiny bit up at the entrance, but then that's nothing. That's where I walk on. But the path is the most important thing, where Buttercup's walking down. I even did a bit here as well on the other side, just getting all the weeds, because I definitely don't want to see weeds in the paths. Ended up taking 3 buckets of weeds out of it, and we've still got the other path to do yet, but it's nowhere as bad as this one. Like I said, this is on the north side, so that's north, that's south. Now the south gets sun, so it doesn't get as much, this doesn't get as much light, so you get a lot of lichens and stuff in it, which is even worse to get out. But as you can see, all the way along, it looks beautiful. Keep your paths clean, keep your beds clean, and you grow fantastic vegetables. Plus, underneath here, about 2 foot down, there's a drain which runs underneath it. So if you start throwing soil onto this stone, it just causes flooding on the plot. So, well, good drainage on the paths is essential for growing good plants. Anyway, that's what we've been doing tonight. Me and Buttercup, she stayed with me pretty much most of the time. And anyway, I'm going to lock the greenhouses up now, knock it on the head. Might do the other side tomorrow after I come back from a chest x-ray. So as you saw there, the path is done. We've still got the other side to do yet. I'm not looking forward to doing that. Buttercup basically stayed with me all the way through that. Like I say, she's fast asleep in the greenhouse now, and I don't want to disturb her. But yeah, the path, you got to keep it clean, because underneath them stones is like pipes where the water drains away, and if you keep getting soil on top of the stones, it stops the flow of water going into there, and what happens is the bed starts to flood. And I've spent 10 years trying to prevent the flooding happening, and we got it under control, but we definitely need to keep the paths clear, and that's what I've done. Anyway, moving on from that, because that was tough work. It really was. You may saw the chickens there, you may not have seen the chickens, you probably will see in the tour, but yeah, we've had a few fatalities. They don't last forever. These chickens that I acquired, I saved the chickens from the community chickens. We saved some of them, and I put them in with my chickens. Anyway, you know, they're very old, and we kept them in there. Some of them wasn't laying, but a few of them passed away just recently. So we've not got many chickens left, so I'm thinking about going and buy some new chickens, some Nova Browns or Lowland Browns. There's a place in Utford called Cheshire Chickens. If you type it in on your computer and your browser, you'll see how much these chickens are. They're not much more than 10 quid. They're really cheap. Everywhere else like 30-40 quid for a chicken. This place, it's pretty reasonable. More chickens you buy, the cheaper they are. So I want to get myself another flock of about 8 chickens. So that's something we're going to be looking into shortly. Yeah, this week a couple of people wanted to buy the strimmers, and when I come to get the strimmers to give them, I found the strimmers had no fueling, no wiring. Really annoyed about that, but we ended up putting the fuel in one of them. You probably hear it in the background as I'm actually repairing the second one, because someone had broken the second one. I managed to find some clips. I had to Frankenstein cut them down to make them fit. You're going to see me do. I'll show you what we had to do to get this other strimmer up and running. You see me over the other side of the allotments just testing them out. I ended up doing a bit of strimming over there. You'll probably see that in the clip. So let me show you. This is this strimmer that I've actually. We had one working and one broke. What? You seem busy. You just want to get involved, don't you? Well, you see these things here? They're just too big. They need a tiny bit taking off the edge there. So this pushes up tight. The trouble is, I need to charge my angle grinder just to cut the little clips off here. Same on this side. Now these you pay about 15 quid for them. They're not expensive. But this is for a strimmer. What they keep doing, they keep taking these apart. I tell them to not take the heads off them, and they just totally ignore me, and they lose the clips. And then what they do, they lose the clip and just leave them without the clip in, and then they tear the they break these tops, and then we have to replace them, and you know, it's 15 quid every time you do that. And I'm gonna have to make a post to explaining to the people who use the strimmers that they must not take the heads apart, and if you get caught taking them apart, they never get to use the strimmers again. It's simple as that, really. But yeah, I've got to just cut the ends there. So that's the next thing I'm gonna. Well, I'm not gonna do it now. I've got to go and get changed. I've got to quickly just run over and have an X-ray in the hospital. Well, I've come on, and I've had to rewire the other strimmer because they've used all the wire. And what they've done, when the wire run out, they've tied it in a knot inside, and I just can't believe what these people have done. And yeah, anyway, once I've fixed these clips here, you see they're just too long and they just need trimming. Once I've done that, this head will go back on the other strimmer, and I'm going to have 2 strimmers working. You can hear one going in the background there now. That's my mate George using the strimmer. Get this one fixed and there will be 2 of them then. Unbelievable. honestly. They make me head hurt, some of them on here. Right, show you when I fixed it. Won't be now though. So it's even, they've cracked it, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to super glue it as well. Put some glue in it and try and glue it together. Once that goes in there, it'll lock it in but just need to cut these bits off here. Well guys, I'm trying to fix this strimmer head here, and what I've done, and what I need to do, that one's already done. But as you can see, they need to be cut down. The trouble is I ain't got no pliers. I've got my angle grinder to cut it, but I've got no pliers to hold it, so it's a bit fiddly. So I'm not going to video me doing it because I'll probably end up chopping my fingers off. But yeah, we're going to turn that one into this one, and then we can actually fit them into here. See, it's just too big. And what we want to do is put them in like that. That's what they're supposed to be like, sort of thing. I might put a bit of super glue in there as well, just to mould it in properly. It's cracked as well, so however when it's pulled together and it's clipped in, it locks like that. Well guys, we managed to cut these long ones down to fit these ones there. I don't know if you can see the difference. Slightly longer. I'll stick some wire in that and stick it back on the strimmer, and then we've got 2 strimmers. I think that's the plan, and I'll keep hold of that one as a spare. The trouble is when they take the tops off, they lose these clips, and they're constantly being broke because these clips are getting lost all the time. I've told them when the wire runs out to bring it to someone who knows what they're doing and not to open them, and they still open them, and you know, it does me head in, because people want to use them and they can't use them because some moron has dismantled it and lost the parts. Unbelievable. Anyway, we got it fixed. Put some wire in and we'll be good to go. Hey guys, well, I'm servicing the strimmers. If I don't do it, no bugger does it. I've just added fuel to this one, fuel in this one. Like I said, I've just replaced that head, and yeah, it's good to go. It's a bit long, the wire, but there is a cutting edge on this, on the back of this. Oops, sorry. I wouldn't say so soon. On the back here, there's a cutting edge, and it hits that and cuts it. But yeah, perfect. Anyway, dodgy having that knife. I think it's legal. It's 3 inches long, or less than 3 inches, but it is a locking knife, and I think there's a new rule out for knives now. But anyway, yeah, got the strimmers all sorted, got this one all up and going. I just hope break it when they come to use it, or I'll be very unhappy. Every time I fix them, they break them. Should make them pay for it. What do you reckon, guys? Anyway, that's it. I do know they work. Be careful there. Just quickly try this one. Off. Ready? that one works. Yeah, I just trimmed in front of here while I'm at it. It needs work on this area. But like I said, I've not come down to cut the grass today. I've come down to fix the strimmers up and get them all up and running. Like I say, we replaced the head on that one there, and well, as you see, the other one's doing really good. Right, get these back into the lock up, and we're done here for now. But this is what I have to do. And someone will borrow them, and then they just they come back all broken normally, unfortunately. Well, it was all overgrown here before. We've cut it back, tidied it all up, cleaned the chair up. These are seating areas where people can sit. And then paving stones need to be moved. They are to go here in the front. This just here in front. There is some more just over the other side of the road, which we've got to do yet. But yeah, while I was I've done the strimmers, got them all fixed now. They're all got fuel in, wire, back in the lockup. Like I said, I've trimmed just here, all been trimmed up, and well, jobs are good. And we need to replace this, take this thing out here, this bed, and that water tank. We've got to take the water tank out as well. So when they'll be gone shortly. And then this will be a seating area then. But I've done what I had to do. I only come on to fix the bloody strimmers. I've ended up cutting the grass in front here, so it'll last for about a week, and then it'll have to be done again. So we've got the two strimmers now working perfectly well. I will tell everybody who watches the video on the allotment, from now on, if you take the head apart and you lose, when they come back and they broke, you're going to have to pay for the heads, guys, because we simply can't keep paying to repair them. If you bring them back when the wires runs out, it's a lot easier for us to replace them, the wire, and then send you on the way back out. But if you take the heads off them and you break them, unfortunately, we just cannot keep fixing them. So there's consequences. So the easiest way to not incur any penalties when you borrow the strimmers, this is to all the plot holders: bring them back when the wire runs out or the petrol runs out. Don't try to do it yourself. When they do borrow the strimmers as well, they have to read the actual manual. They have to read how to use them before they can actually physically take them. They come with the screens, the gloves, all the harnesses, everything, earplug, ear muffs. They have to. That's what they need to take with them. If they don't use it and they have an accident, well, that's their own fault. We're just covering all the bases. So we make them actually read the how to use them before they can borrow them. But yeah, we managed to get. We've got two strimmers now up and running, so they're full of fuel. They're all ready to go. But just it annoys me when they come back broke, and they don't need to be broke. I mean, all you're doing is to go with that. As long as you don't hit them against something, you're not going to break them. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that. That did me head in, that having to fix that. I shouldn't have to do that, but we did. I'm going to move on. I'm going to show you the plot now, and take you around the plot and show you what's happening with the plot. It's looking pretty good. So we've got a slight breeze there. It keeps moving around from north to coming in from the west, the wind. Now it's flat, calm. There's the sun there in the west setting. Now this week it's nearly killed me doing this path. Hands and knees job all the way down, clearing all the weeds out of it. I've still got the other side to do yet, but yeah, all the weeds are in there ready for the Cobden Street tip. Let's have a look. Might as well go in the greenhouses, eh? Marigolds, they need deadheading. Do that later. My peppers are starting to ripen here now. Joe Long, they won't be long before they're ripening. We've got several different bell peppers here. We've managed to give piles of these grapes away. Still got a pile over there. Mutant tomato. Got lots of them tomatoes. That's the front greenhouse. This is the middle greenhouse. We've still left. They've got these grapes in here. Grapes. Well, yeah, we've got grapes, but we've actually got tomatoes as well. Look at these strawberries. Absolutely full of flowers and fruits. You can see the fruits there. They're doing really well. We've got a load of big tomatoes in there. We'll be picking them out shortly. So yeah, next week these tomatoes will all be coming out of here. Like I said, got lots of grapes. They really should take the leaves off. Buttercup's following me around like a little lost sheep. Still can't believe I've had to chain this up to stop people from trying to pinch the bloody furniture. Kids. Anyway, as you saw, we've done this bed. We've cleared all the calendula out of it now. I'm thinking of putting something else in just for the time being, but yeah, at the moment it's how I want it. There's a lot of daffodils and tulips in these planters and what have you. This bed's been tidied as well. Sedum's starting to go red, which is great. We've had all the raspberries and gooseberries. Well, these are gooseberries. There's some nice roses there. That there, what you're looking at, is a misty day. That one, misty day. Forget what this decorative. These are decorative dahlias, by the way. We've been doing a bit of tidying up in this bed as well. I'm going to have to start giving some of these apples away to people. Anyone want an apple? Come and see me. More strawberries up here. This is the back greenhouse. Bit of tidying up's going on here. These are the patio sizzlers, jalapenos, these Scotch bonnets. Again, we've got absolutely piles all the way along here. Really worried about this greenhouse collapsing with the weight of all these grapes on here. It's literally solid all the way along. These are the golden fleece sweet corn. They're starting to get the hairs on them now. This one, however, these are almost ready for taking. They've gone brown. Another week. In fact, they're probably ready to go now. Chickens is a bit of a worrying. I need to get some more chickens. We're down to the last 3 guys. We've had a couple of fertility, I can't say it, a couple of deaths over the last few weeks. Now these chickens, the older ones, we actually took them from the community chickens, and there was about 4-year-old, so we've had them a year or 2. They don't live forever, but I will be getting more chickens shortly. Walter Buttercup, she says, yeah, they taste really nice. Again, more. I think these are Misty Day. They're Jamaica. There's lots of flowers. All of my dahlias are starting to come up now. The lucifer's dying back. These are my sprouts, Brussels sprouts. I need to get some slug pellets in here because the Savoy cabbage is getting battered by the slugs. The purple cabbage is doing well. That's the purple cabbage. I think these are collies, if I'm not mistaken. Again, we've got lots of cabbage here. These Savoy. Again, there's lots of this celery out there, and there's lettuces, 2 different varieties of lettuce. Apples, I've been getting the Bramleys off here, if you like. Off these trees here. These are Bramleys. These are the mini pop sweet corn. Somewhere in there might be a pumpkin, I don't know, I've not really looked. These compost bins need repairing and fixing, but we've got all the stuff, all this wood here. Mark gave me some of this, and we've got the heavy duty ones, so I just need somewhere to throw all that compost. I might take these up to the top of the plot shortly, and we'll find some space, probably in the bed facing where I actually sit. Give them a bit of a pruning. We don't want to tidy the pots up. These are blueberries, and that soil what they're in is ericaceous soil, so that's what you really want to grow them in, like an acidic soil. They do like an acidic soil, to be quite honest with you. We've still got to do this bed here, the path here, but we're going to do that another day. I still can't believe how these geraniums are looking. They really are being sheltered here, and they're doing wonderful. Look at them, how beautiful they are. The pond, I'm leaving that well alone. It's overgrown. I don't want to disturb down there because there's a load of newts in there. And I've seen baby newts that big in there. So I was on my knees the other day. I nearly crushed one with my knees. So I'm keeping away from there at the moment. But yeah. Newts are an endangered species, and before you say out, it was me who introduced them on here 40 years ago, actually 50 years ago, as a kid. I went to a place called the Three Sisters, and we brought, I must have brought about 40 pairs back, and we let them go in the ponds around the allotment with frogs, and what you see today is a massive colony of frogs and newts. So back in the day, I did nothing wrong, and well, we've populated this allotments with some of the rarest amphibians you can actually get. There's great crested, there's smooth newts. Anyway, enough about them. Mark's getting to grips here. He got rid of a load of wood. He just needs to get rid of that bit there. He's been working on his beds here. He's been painting his shed as well. That's good. I need to get in here, do a bit of weeding in amongst all these strawberries. Sedum's doing really well here. Again, the currants, we've had a load of them currants this year. Apples, well, they're getting hammered by the wasps. These are golden delicious. There's a few decent ones on there, but what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm not going to be eating them. If someone wants them for scrumpy, help themselves. My lots here on these apples here, I mean, they're Bramleys up there, but these apples here, these are dessert apples, and well, they look really good, ready for eating them. Anyway, that's a look at the plot this week. By the way, it's first week in September. So anyway, walked down this path, couldn't do this last week, and we'll get something done with this. I'm thinking of putting them blueberries one either end, not too sure yet. If I do that, I'm going to be flattening some of my daffodils. Wait and see. But all this here needs a paint as well, so I'll be getting my paintbrush out of there. I've got a couple of tins of wood stain. I think it's I'm trying to think what it's called now. Forget the name, but the colour of it is the colour. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but we'll be doing that shortly. Right, anyway, that's a look at the plot. I do like that misty day there though, they're beautiful. Probably my favourite dahlia of all them. Some pom-poms there as well. Some orange and yellow ones, and a few falling down there. It was pretty windy the other day. Bird feeders, wow, I filled them up yesterday. Look at them, they're almost half empty. That's crazy. Right, let's knock it on the head. We'll have a sit down and tell you what else we've been doing. So as you saw there, the plot's looking wonderful. There's greenhouses. I've still got a few tomatoes left in the middle greenhouse. They'll be coming out shortly. With the grapes, well, wow, grapes. I've got so many of them. I've been giving them away. A lot of the plot holders will tell you who watch the videos that actually can't get rid of it. Can't get rid of them. There's that many. I've been taking them home as well, giving them the family. We've got a pile more in the back greenhouse. Worried about that bloody roof collapsing in there with all the grapes on it. The chilies and the peppers are doing wonderful. Everything's doing really well. I've got some plants to be planted next week or two. I just got to find the space to do that. We will be working on the path next week if I've got the time. I'm going to get off now, get the video edited, and like I say, the car boots was closed this morning, so there was no way of spending any of my money. Although it's a bank holiday Monday tomorrow, so maybe there'll be 1 or 2 car boots open at the yard. You'd be guaranteed I'll be there. That's if they're open. Every single car boot was closed this morning due to the rain that we had last night. Gutted. We have actually got a few coins on order, but they're not here yet, so we'll save that for next week. I'm just looking at Buttercup there, like eating a actually it's a dinner. I'm going to pile some more in there now, and I will get off and get the video edited a bit later on and hopefully get it up. So this week it's all been about tidying the plot up, making it look a little bit more presentable. We have got plot inspections in the next 2 weeks, so this is my way of saying, well, my plot is looking good. Your plot doesn't have to look as good as mine, it just has to be look like it's being worked. So yeah, you can't be giving people letters when your plot's looking a mess. So that's what we've been doing this week, but they've got 2 weeks to get the plots in order. We have been posting it on the social media on the site to say that, give everybody plenty of warning so they've got no excuses. Some people have got real genuine excuses, and we take all that into consideration. You know, we're not monsters. We don't like to give warnings out to people, but you know, it's an allotment. There's over 30 odd people on the waiting list, and every one of them would, any one of them 30 would love a bite of the cherry, so to speak. Anyway, like I said, talked longer than I've definitely talked long enough. So if you've not been able to hear understand what I'm saying, like I said, my nose and all my sinuses are all blocked up at the moment, and I've got a bit of a husky sore throat as well. So till next week, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, folks.